Yeah, guys, before I take any questions, just, I thought we showed great resiliency. Our theme of the week has been finish. You look at our entire season, and that's not something we've done very well. Coming in today, we were 1-3 in one-score games. We've had some leads that we've given up. And so really when, and even last week at times, offensively, we weren't great, but I thought one of the best things we did today, all three phases, hung in there, finished the game, fourth quarter. We talked about three things this week, just keeping the focus on the preparation, talked about winning the line of scrimmage, and we talked about finish. And those are the themes as a team this week. And I thought we did all three of those things. And so I thought that was a check mark for all three things. It started to get, when they tied the game, the momentum started to swing a little bit again, much like last week. And I thought, what a great job by us, by the team, all three phases in the fourth quarter. We had big plays from every phase. And so I just thought that was an outstanding job. Again, the crowd was awesome. To hear the momentum there, we needed them a little bit at the end. We got loud. All of a sudden, they're in a 2-minute drive. That was great. Kudos to Taysom for responding. And, no surprise, that's Taysom, but great response from him. I know he was pissed off at halftime because we had a couple of turnovers, the interception and the fumble. But he might be the poster child for the resiliency. Look at him come back, bounce back, make some huge plays. We decided to go for it there on 4th and short. He has a touchdown run. Then we're in a 4-minute drill, and he busts out another long one. So I'm certainly happy as heck that we have that guy on our team. You look at the offensive line. We rushed for 200+ yards. Our plan was to kind of neutralize Myles Garrett for the game, and I thought we did some of that. So, but again, the big punt return, just plays by everybody. And so, again, just super proud. As I just said to the team, there's a process every week on how to win the game, and I thought we did a great job there. There was a couple times where we had some self-inflicted wounds for sure, with the explosive plays for them and the turnovers for us, but kudos to that whole locker room for being able to overcome that. So,
was there some sort of an intentional plan? You looked at a lot of different things that said we should be doing this, we should be doing this. Was there any sort of intentional Taysom Hill should be more involved in the offense, or this matchup in particular?
Yeah, I think when you look at least for the time I've been here, I've been here for most of the time Taysom's been, and listen, when he touches the ball and he's on the field, it affects the game tremendously, and he doesn't even sometimes have to get the ball. Him being on the field and him, kind of like I thought Clint did a phenomenal job in the way we used them today. He ran it, he threw it, he caught it. And so when you're defending that and you're not sure where he's going to line up and all that, it neutralizes the defense a little bit. You maybe get some more, vanilla looks than if he's not on the field. And so, I think he had, 8 catches and 7 carries and 2 pass attempts, and Red Grange. So, it's good for him and good for us and good for Clint and good for the offensive staff. But no doubt, you want to get the balls to your playmakers and certainly we want to be one-dimensional. Alvin's done such a great job the entire season, to keep teams off balance, and it's not all one guy is a big deal.
Is that something that came up with in your assessment conversations or
Yeah, listen, we looked at some other games this year when Taysom was active, and it wasn't just me. I think collectively felt like, we got to get this guy the ball more and get him more involved.
Is that was this maybe what y'all kind of envisioned going into the season, what his role could look like in Clint's offense, and maybe just injuries took their toll?
I think that's a fair statement, because you look at the first couple of games, he was very, very involved. He obviously then was dealing with an injury, coming back off of that, and I think he's gotten a little bit more and more involved every week. But if you look at our wins so far this season, I'm going to tell you that Taysom's numbers are pretty good, and so that's been a theme around here for a long time. And like I said, and Alvin's been kind of carrying the load there, and just again, Alvin had some really tough, really good yards today. And then be able to keep them off, the defenses off balance with those two guys is a big thing.
Darren, you're kidding about Red Grange, but can you put into perspective just how rare it is for a player to do what he's been doing in his career?
Yeah, listen, 30-something years of coaching, and it's hard to compare him to somebody that I've coached or coached against or watched. Listen, the guy had a 42-yard kickoff return. He threw 2 passes today, and one of them he wants to have back. He had 10 targets, and he's got 7 rushes, and he's got a 4th down run for a touchdown. It's like, what can't this guy do? He's our personal protector on our punt team, and so there's just so many jobs, and he's so valuable. So it's hard to, I say Red Grange because I don't even know who else to say because, I mean, can you guys think of anybody? I can't. And so, like I said, I'm glad he's on our team. Chuck Bigneri. I mean, who? The guys in the locker room don't even know that. They don't know who Red Grange is either, though. So.
But what do you? I mean, also, isn't it, in your experience, for a 34-year-old, uncommon to be breaking kick returns and runs, 75-yarders and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's kind of an ageless guy. I mean, he keeps himself in phenomenal physical shape. The way he takes care of his body, what he puts in his body, all those things, how he prepares himself off the field in the off season, all those things. So I mean, he certainly doesn't look 34. He looked more like a 24-year-old today. That's for sure. And like I said, I'm glad. Now we got to be smart with the usage and the play counts and all that stuff. And we can't just sweep it under the rug, his age. But man, I think the reason he has success is because of what he does for the whole calendar year. His preparation, his nutrition, all those things. And so the off the field stuff is really impressive with him.
Obviously, there's like the earned confidence that you guys have in him, but to stick with him and keep riding him after the turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. Man, at halftime I said to him, you're going to continue to get the ball, so we got to get over it. Let's move on. And listen, any good player get that many touches, you're going to have some negative plays. But he was taking it personal, and I just told him on the way out at halftime, like you're going to keep getting the ball, so we're going to need you here. And fortunately for us, he made some big ones.
You touched on it earlier. Did you feel like Clint was in a rhythm as a play caller today? Just kind of felt like, especially early on in the game.
Yeah, I thought it's the second week in a row. I thought we had a really good start. And that's been a theme in the games that we've played well in, is kind of getting that ball rolling early on. We got a little stagnant there again in maybe the third quarter, but then we're a really good finish. That was the difference between this week and last week. I thought the offense finished. I thought we had a really good start, maybe a little stale in the middle, but I thought Clint called a great game. And you look at the numbers, Derek's 21 of 27, again, very efficient, made some good decisions, spread the ball around. And for the second week in a row, his QB rating, his QBR is super high, and just played a really efficient game. But that goes back to the play calling. So I thought Clint did a phenomenal job of spreading the ball around. Foster, a couple of huge catches. Jawan, a couple of huge catches. And so obviously Scanling, another big play. And so that's just a great job of understanding the weapons we have, distributing the ball. So great job by Clint.
Darren, how would you describe what sort of the overall mood of this locker room is, right? I mean, pretty down 2 weeks ago. How would you describe where you guys are right now?
I think that we're starting to get some confidence back. You know what I mean? I thought we had a lot of confidence in the beginning of the year. We obviously hit a little bit of a lull, team-wise, and I think there's some, you got a little swag back, if you will. And so, that makes me so happy just seeing our guys celebrate and the culmination of the work week. And now I think that, we talked about that formula for winning. And so I think that, and I talked about the buy-in, and it's a credit to everybody in the locker room. Those guys, that's what they've done. And so, listen, I love to see the excitement. We're going to have a little downtime now. The guys need it. We went, 11 in a row here is not easy. So, these late bye weeks. So kind of get to press the reset button again and kind of see if we can, make a push here at the end, one game at a time.
I'm sorry, how gratifying has this been for you? I mean, and you do get a chance to reset right now, but this whirlwind beginning a couple of weeks ago, it's got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. Sit here, I'd lie to you if I was saying I've had to sit down and really think about the whole thing. Maybe I'll do that this week, but we still have a lot of things we got to get done in the office and whatnot. So, but yeah, listen, it's gratifying to me to win. So at the end of the day, to watch these guys prepare these last 2 weeks and go out there, that's the gratifying part for sure. Just the smiles on the faces in the locker room, that's the gratifying part.
Did Eric aggravate his?
Yeah, we're just talking about down in the way, and I need to get the exact information on that. I'm not 100% sure what that is, so I got to figure that out.
It looked like he tried to go back, and maybe he wasn't able.
Yeah, he was dealing with something, and I think he tried to gut through. Could he have maybe gone back in? Probably, but I think we tried to make the smart decision with him there.
Is it the same?
I really don't know. I'm not 100% sure if it's the exact same thing. I don't know.
And then Pete Werner, your decision to have him up today,
yeah,
despite the kind of cast on his hand.
Yeah. So I told you guys all week. Pete, every day there was a little bit more confidence that he could do it. It was really up till like last night where it's like, hey, we're going to pull the trigger here. He had some casting options. Weren't 100% sure if he was going to be able to do it, but he prepared all week. He didn't get a ton of reps, but he prepared all week. Pete's a very, very intelligent guy, and so that I wasn't worried about the mental. I was more worried about can he finish, be effective, and so what a credit to him. I mean, he's out there with that club and still flying around making plays. So.
Coach, what about your defense and taking away their running game? How they continue.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, it was 64 yards rushing, and we made an emphasis all week about the line of scrimmage, but more importantly, our tackling. Our tackling on the year is something that's been really, really, inconsistent. And so I saw today, some really good examples of tackling in the run game. They ripped off a couple runs here or there, but I thought we really did a great job controlling the line. But more importantly, when the back gets to the second level, linebackers, DBs, we did a much better job today in tackling. So again, that was an emphasis. They've done a good job. Their offensive line, tight ends, running backs have been good for them, and we tried to make it turn into a passing game, which we did in the second half, and that was certainly effective. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. He got dinged up early too, and credit to him, he came back in the game, but he made some huge catches, and the one got taken away from him, for the holding call, which was a really great passing catch. But no, some huge plays. The one he's falling down. I remember saying in the headset to the coaches, that's an unbelievable catch. He's kind of off balance, kind of sees the ball late, but he made some critical catches. But that whole tight end room really stepped up.
Darren, can you go into just kind of a two-part here, the return game on y'all's side with guys filling in that haven't really been in those roles yet this year, and then on the opposite side, like the field position you guys kind of gained on the.
Sure. Well, first of all, Dante Pettis, great job by him. I think in 11 games we've had 4 or 5 different guys back there catching punts, and I think like 7 or 8 different guys doing kick returns. And so we made a decision late in the week to go with Dante because we needed a roster spot. I thought Jermaine did a very admirable job when he's been in there, give or take. But Dante's a guy that really was a really good returner in college, and we knew if we can get him out, into space, we can make something happen. It's a shame. I saw right in front of me, stepped out by about an inch, it looked like, and thought it might come back. So I wasn't really celebrating too much because I knew they were going to see it. But what a great job. Give us great field position, go down, score again. Like I said, all 3 phases, and then the kickoff side of things. I thought Blake had some really good kickoffs. Coverage was outstanding. We made them field that one-line drive ball that kind of bounced around. I think they started on the 15. Coverage is really good. So we want to continue to take advantage of that. So to have a 42-yard kick return, and I don't even know how many yards the punt return was, the long punt return, but to have those are huge plays in the game. Momentum swings, and so that was really, really good.
I wasn't seeing Jameis again, and did he present any of the challenges that you've expected?
Jameis? Well, first of all, I didn't really get a chance to talk to him until after the game, but it's always great to see Jameis. He puts a smile on my face, puts a smile on everybody's face. So from a personal level, great to see him. Listen, right away, would they have an 89-yard touchdown there in the beginning? And so, that was the concern coming in, is Jameis is going to and then all of a sudden he's going to take those shots down the field. I thought we did a really good job of defending a couple of those in the second half. And so, so you're always worried, even when we went up 14, it's kind of like, we just can't have an explosive here, no big ones, and all of a sudden they're back in the game. And I thought we did a good job of taking those second half ones away. Pardon me, my nose decided to run on me here.
Marquez had another one of those big touchdowns like he had last year, but maybe something that won't get talked about as much as Juwan Johnson blocking downfield on that. Can you tell us a little bit from your perspective, like what a moment like that means and the kind of the ripple effects that come?
Well, it's another bounce back moment. We talked about Taysom, but Juwan had the holding penalty on the long, throw to Foster, and here again, not a guy, he didn't sulk, he just got back and came back and made a huge play. As that play's going on, I'm not even watching, Scantling run with the ball. I'm watching everybody else, and I'm looking at Juwan back there just, out in front, working his ass off to get us into the end zone. That's what the finish part is all about. So when you see examples like that, I think it's awesome. Those are the selfless acts that maybe not everybody understands or sees, but that's just phenomenal. It's just team football. It's a selfless, it's a 1-11 thing that we always talk about. So awesome, really cool.
Darren, you figured out some secret to making opposing kickers miss in the dome?
No, but that's, again, those are big plays. I think that our rush team has done a phenomenal job, and kudos to Phil Galliano and Moof, Marwan for plan. They kind of put that plan together every week and present it. Great job by those guys. We're giving phenomenal effort on that, and that shows on film, and that's in the kicker's mind. And so, the rushes from last week, we blocked one. We should have maybe blocked another. It whizzed by Ridgway's hand. And so that's on film. And so kickers, all of a sudden, the operation, they try to speed up a little bit, get the ball out a little quicker. It's kind of it's a big deal. And so when you put that effort on film and you put that thought into the opponent's mind. So great job by everybody in that unit and the coaching part of it. Great job.
Did your day start better today than last?
Well, I'm a routine guy, so I'll leave it at that. And on that, Doug's going to get nervous now, so.
Can I ask before you know, look, we haven't even asked about Derek yet. So
Yeah.
just like how important has he been in kind of stabilizing this for you and you know, kind of getting this team back on track here?
I think the fact that you haven't asked about Derek yet is really all you need to say. He played a phenomenal game across the board, extremely efficient, like I mentioned before. That's 2 weeks in a row where his efficiency, at that position that we all know, the turnovers are a big deal. I know he didn't throw the one interception today. I think he was 21 to 27. I think, like I said, the second week in a row, his QBR is way, way high. I think we had 1 sack today, so 2 weeks, 1 sack. Just again spreading the ball out. And listen, there's a bunch of guys playing out there that haven't really been playing with him the entire year. Scantling, Kevin Austin, Dante Pettis. I mean, there's guys out there. So the timing and the rhythm, and Derek does a great job in practice every week of when the defense is up and they're doing their stuff. He's got these receivers off on the side. He's not just sitting around and he's making sure the timing and all that is on point. So just another really, really great job by him. I was really, really pleased with him 2 weeks in a row. All right, guys, appreciate it. Thanks.